Good morning, good evening, everyone, depending upon your time zone, and welcome to an interlude with AHAM. Before we get started into our time of meditation, I wanted to just briefly share that although it can take a little bit of time, we like having the roll call and everyone acknowledging their presence on the call and all of us having an opportunity to greet everyone on the call. It's sort of what we found, it sort of brings us all together almost like we're in the same room. You know, when you hear someone calling in from whether it's New Jersey, California, wherever, it sort of puts us all into the same pot, so to speak. Well, I didn't mean to say pot, but you know what I mean. It sort of brings us together. This morning, we are very fortunate to have on the call, and he will be with us in a moment, it's Ganesan. Ganesan has been with us now here at the AHAM Center in North Carolina since around near the end of May, or middle of May. And this will be his final talk here at the AHAM USA for the year. On June 28th, he will be leaving our center here and venturing to other distant places. We've been very happy to have you here. Very happy. Feel very fortunate to have you here, Ganesan. And so, before we bring on Ganesan, let's go ahead and have a few minutes of meditation, bringing the body into a comfortable position. And withdrawing attention from the external by closing the eyes if you choose to. As we share meditation here in AHAM, it can be done with eyes open as well as eyes closed. And simply tune into the silence. Right now, in this moment, in this instant, let's tune into the silence. Allowing attention to be drawn into the silence. Underlying all activity is stillness. Underlying all sound is silence, inner silence. And this stillness and silence is always ever present as the pure awareness that we always already are. The pure I amness, pure being. And all we need do is simply withdraw attention from the external and turn attention inward. If we're presently abiding in the stillness and silence, free of being pulled by mental chatter, then we just simply remain here. But if attention is being pulled or being objectified onto experience occurring in the body as sensations, or thoughts occurring in the mind, then we tell the truth about it, acknowledge it, and let it be. Not resisting thoughts or whatever is occurring in awareness. Letting it all be there just as it is. Accepting it all. Remember, acceptance is freedom. Resistance is suffering. Now from here, we can dive fully into the peace, the fullness of pure being, pure I amness, by inquiring who's thinking, who's experiencing, who's aware. Feeling the inner response, which is I am. I am. Feeling I am, and only I am. Not I am this or I am that. Just simply I am. Let go into this magnetic inward flow. I am. feeling and relaxing into I am, this I am presence, your own sense of I am, until there is no longer any sense of I feeling I am. There is only this one presence, I amness, awareness. Or if there is a sense of I, then let's inquire into this sense of I with, who am I? Feeling and following I, inward. Letting the sense of I, the sense of being an individual, disappear. And let's now remain here in and as this pure awareness, pure I amness, as we now receive the message that Ganesan has to share with us. And he will be with us in a moment. And after he is complete, I will come back up and close us out.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Prostrations to Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, who has come in so many forms to bless us all.
We lost our connection.
Oh, I started with.
Are we on? Okay, thank you. I got a message on the phone that looked like we'd been disconnected. Thank you.
To start again. சித்திரமாமிஹ்தெல்லாம் செம்மலையே நின்பாலே உத்திதமாய் நின்றே ஒடுங்கிடுமால் நித்தியமும் நானென்றிதயம் நடித்திடுவையால் உன் பேர் தான் இதயம் என்றிடுவர் தாம். This is the holy verse composed by Bhagavan on his Guru Arunachala. The meaning is, O Arunachala, in you the picture of the universe is formed, has its stay and is dissolved. That's the sublime truth. You are the inner self who dances in the heart as I am, I am. Heart is thy name, O Lord. We have been sharing about the significance of faith and compassion. Please understand, faith and compassion are not mere words. It's the blessing from the Lord. Both of them sprout from the heart. You know, from the heart, the mind sprouts and prana sprouts. The two vital things. They are, when compared to faith and compassion, are grosser forms. When there is the blessings, when we the divine blessing is on us, which is on everyone without fail. Do not segregate. Only a few people are blessed. Our very birth is the blessing of Lord. So to have a grasp what as we have been sharing, just very quickly we can see how our master had faith, how our master had compassion. Just a glimpse. Bhagavan talks about his Guru Arunachala in verse forms. Of all the sacred places in the world, Arunachala is the most sacred. His faith. It's not an idea, it is not a decision, it is not a conclusion. Then he quotes from the ancient text where the Lord Shiva declares, he translated it into Tamil and confirmed it. Whoever resides within the 30 miles radius of Arunachala are automatically liberated. That is, they stay in the state of self without any formalities, without any discipline, without any practice, without anything, they get automatically liberated. That is Bhagavan's faith. When Devaraja Mudaliyar, a lawyer devotee, asked, how many thieves and rascals are staying in Tiruvannamalai? Do they also get automatically liberated, Bhagavan? Oi, what to do? That's the Supreme Court judgment. Lord Shiva has said, because he was a lawyer, he would understand only when court is drawn in. So he says, that's the Supreme Court declaration. That is Lord Shiva says. His faith in his Guru Arunachala. And then, once he was being photographed up on the hill, from the ashram office, somebody was searching something on the hill. Bhagavan looked at him, so he said, somebody has written from America, we want a pebble, a stone, or some earth from the most sacred place on the hill. Bhagavan laughed and said, pick up anything. Everything is sacred here, holy. Every pebble, every particle of this place is sacred. It is not just words, it is not a belief. He lived it. He came there. Arunachala gave him the commandment, you have to spread my truth, I am, all over the world. But Maharshi never left Arunachala. Not because he did not want to travel. On the very first day, he declared to his master, thy will be done. And from that moment onwards, there was no a person called Ramana Maharshi making decisions. So this is my conviction that Arunachala asked him to stay with him. Otherwise he would have left. And then his compassion. I shared with you previously that when Bhagavan came down from Skandashram to Ramanashram, the present Ramanashram, 1922, few people asked, is it not your decision to move from up on the hill to Ramanashram, this place? The same higher power which brought me from Madurai to Arunachala, the very same higher power has brought me from Skandashram to here. Always faith, compassion. That's what he declared. But actually, in Bhagavan's life, it is out of compassion he stayed on. There was one, Saubhagyatammal, don't worry about the name. You may not be able to. Just for my joy I am saying, Saubhagyatammal, I worship her. When Bhagavan was at Skandashram, she was in the town, old lady. She had such faith on Bhagavan. Every day she will climb up, have darshan of Bhagavan and then go and take bath, cook or go round the hill. Anything she will do. When she became, it is even impossible for her to climb up. She was with tears in her eyes from her house. She looked up, I can't come there. Bhagavan was seated at Skandashram in that payal. She was so happy. And see, the compassion of Bhagavan, she did not communicate it to her. From next day onwards, very early morning, Bhagavan was seated there. Every day, when it was dew was pouring, Bhagavan is naked. So one or two disciples said, why are you seated exposed to this coldness? Bhagavan did not say, I have to give darshan to her. He didn't answer at all. Just for her sake. So after he came down to to Ramanashram, the present ashram, this Saubhagyatammal came running, fell at Bhagavan's feet. Oh, you are here. I am able to see you again. That made him stay in Ramanashram. That's not the only point. Bhagavan was sleeping on the bare ground after coming to Ramanashram 22. A old couple, very poor couple, shepherds, they saw Bhagavan lying down on the mere sand. They immediately started putting a mud platform and then begged, please, you should sit and sleep only there. Bhagavan, out of compassion, stayed in Ramanashram, the present Ramana. It was not even named Ramanashram at that time. Just because of this poor old couple, wanted them, Bhagavan, to sleep on that. Bhagavan stayed on. And then, when he was there, the news into the town went, Bhagavan is here. So they used to bring vegetables and rice and everything cook. It is called bhiksha. We friends share food. When we give it to God or a holy person, it is called reverentially bhiksha. So they offered bhiksha to Bhagavan, the very first family. Then Bhagavan looked at them Bhagavan, we would like to go round the hill along with you. Having fed him, immediately they were making this request. So Bhagavan went round the hill, and this news she went and spread in the town. Every day somebody was bringing and making food and offering to Bhiksha. Bhagavan, we want you to come along with them. Compassion, compassion. It is not just a concession or not even a love. So for our understanding, faith is not a belief. Belief is from your system. I believe in Hinduism, you believe in Judaism. Let us not quarrel, but this is my belief, your belief. Faith is not yours. We think confused between belief and faith. Faith is given to you. Love, charity, we can do alms, we can donate, we can go and serve in orphanages. These are all out of love, conditional. Compassion is not yours. You cannot manufacture compassion. It has to descend on you. Because in both faith and compassion, you cannot be that there. That's what Jesus says, not I, but thou. You can have faith, not as Ganesan. Ganesan can have only belief. I have got faith, it's the blessing. In spite of me, not I, but thou. Compassion also is not just giving some $200 to somebody, it is not compassion. Or taking care of a dog or a cow. Compassion should be, you should dissolve yourself. And how did Bhagavan live? What is the result? If you have that compassion and faith, what will you do? Bhagavan shared it with his devotees. I was able to live with them. They oozed, they just exuded faith and compassion. Muruganar, Chadwick, Osborne, take any life of these old devotees. What they had on their master is not believe, I believe he is my master. No. You cannot separate the master and disciple in faith. But in belief, you can separate. I can brainwash you to give up Judaism and then convert yourself into Hinduism. No, faith can never be done. And that faith, that compassion is not the sole property of Jesus Christ, Buddha, or Ramana Maharshi. It is the sole property of every one of us. No one is excluded. When you die within, the silence that you experience there, Bhagavan has repeatedly declared, that's the heart. Though scriptures give the name I am or Aham or Father, Ramakrishna likes to call Kali, Bhagavan likes to call Arunachala. Whatever it is, even the I am, for the final truth, can never be a word. How can a truth be restricted into a small word? It is the throbbing, that's why in Sanskrit it is said, spurana. It is a throbbing, it is not, you do not create, it is there. When you turn within, that is making the mind emerge in the heart, there is a silence. And Bhagavan repeatedly used to say, That's the truth. That's the heart. That's the Lord. That is God. That's why Maharshi said, there are 60 billion bodies in the world, but all of them refer to themselves, each one of them, I am so and so, I am so and so. That I am, Maharshi questioned, are there 60 billion I ams? 60 billion different names are there. But I am, this, or, Bhagavan questioned, these masters do not dictate terms. They put out the ball, they roll the ball into your court. Find out, are there 60 billion I ams, or there is only one I am, to which all the 60 billion bodies are referring to? That 60 billion bodies referring to I am Ganesan, I am Vivian, I am Stan, I am Shujat. Remove just one. When I was with Robert Adams, a living master at that time, first in Hollywood and then to Sedona, I was very happy to be with him. I used to sit at his feet. His closest friend, John Wilkins, very long, very close friend. He one day sat this side, I was sitting here. He held on to the knee of Robert. Robert, I know you can talk about truth, even sing and then quote scriptures and then try to prove the truth and reality. Don't do any of those tricks. As I am, you should make me realize right now here what is truth and what is untruth. What is reality and what is unreality as I am. Don't ask me to refer to something. Robert Adams had Parkinson's disease. So at times, a cloud of forgetfulness will come. So they were 20, 30 years friends. Suddenly I was there, I was also very anxious. No, nobody has answered this question that way. What is truth and what is untruth? What is reality and what is unreality? Here now, under my condition, it should be made to be experienced by me. I was excited. How he is going to do that? I mean, it's all fraction of a second excitement. I was looking at Robert. Suddenly he assumed a doubtful face. Hey, who are you? And then John Wilkins had moved with him very closely. Oh, this is one of the moments of his forgetfulness. So he said, Robert, I am John Wilkins. Again he removed like that. Hey, I asked you, who are you? He raised himself. He thought he had not heard properly. He raised himself. I am John Wilkins. Then Robert gave one of the most beautiful smiles I have ever come across in my life. There, I am is the truth. John Wilkins is the untruth. There, I am is the reality. John Wilkins is the unreality. I tell you, everyone, 70 people were in the audience, in the hall. Everyone went into samadhi. Just out of body consciousness. Because that's the power of the truth. That I am is within you all, including the speaker, everyone. That's why Maharshi was reviving the truth which we have lost. And he said, turn within, dive within. You are identifying with the mind and body. When you dive within, the mind merges into the heart. That's the silence. That's where the seat of I am, the truth is. That's why In one of the verses he say, somebody asked, who are you, Ramana? We quoted it in the first session. Bhagavan, he asked only, who are you, Ramana? He answers, Arunachala Ramana is the one who throbs in the heart of every being, from the biggest god to the smallest insect, as I am. And still, we receive this, we try to understand. This is the mistake that we have been doing for 3,000 years. When God declared to Moses, I am that I am, why did we not wake up? That's the highest truth. Of course, I am not condemning or making a condemnatory statement, because the most ancient scripture, Vedas declared, God declares, I am as is. Same thing, I am as I am. We did not wake up. So Ramana Maharshi comes and helps us to wake up. Where is the mistake? I'll tell you a story to explain this. Buddha, great Buddha, was going to spread the message. He was traveling from place to place, and huge audiences used to come. And from one place, he was to travel the next city or village. He has to pass through the thick forest. So this city's people beg of Buddha, there is a great murderer and robber inside the forest. There is only one way, and he will be in the middle of the way. He says, you cannot go. And if you go, you have to pay me the toll fee of the thumb. He will cut off the thumb and only make you go. And he will make a garland of that. That's why he is called Angulimala. Anguli means cut off thumb. He used to have the garland of that. And he is ruthless, very powerful, very strong. So they tell Buddha, don't go this way. We will take you, avoiding this forest, we will take you another way. All these masters will not argue or give you a reply. Buddha was going alone. Everyone was afraid. No one accompanied Buddha. He was going alone. And when he reached the middle of the forest, there Angulimala is standing there. From a distance he shouted, even though I am a ruthless murderer or killer or robber, I give a chance. If you have to pass through this way alone, I will cut off. I will give you time. You can escape, go back. But I will definitely cut off. Whether children or women, I do not discriminate at all. Then Buddha, you should not, this Angulimala says, stay there, do not move. Even inch you should not move. And he is going on saying this, don't move, I told you you are moving, don't move, stay there. If you come near, I will definitely, you may be a holy man, all that, it is immaterial for me. And he was going on, don't come, you are moving, you are coming near me, don't move, don't move. And there was just 1 foot separation. I told you, you look so good, but I cannot help cutting off your thumb. You did not obey me. I told you, I gave you a chance. Buddha smiled. I have not moved, I obeyed you. I have not moved even an inch. Angulimala has moved towards him. This story I love. Angulimala felt Buddha was moving. He did not know he was moving towards him, attracted by that spiritual aura. Of course, afterwards he became the greatest follower of Buddha, and he was the bodyguard for Buddha afterwards. But that's not the point. Here, what I want to refer is, all people who came to Bhagavan, they said, Bhagavan, you say, the world is unreal, body is unreal, mind is unreal, only the self is reality. We can't see the self. And we see only the body, we see only the mind, we see the only world. Bhagavan repeatedly used to say, self alone is truth. Dive within. Turn your attention within. But we go on repeating like Angulimala. No, the world is real, the world is real, the body is real. He was shouting at Buddha, don't move, don't come towards me, don't come towards me. I will cut off your thumb. Actually, he was coming. Falsehood always moves. That's the point. The mind is very active. Bhagavan, I want to believe you. See, belief can go only worshipping Bhagavan, that's all. Not take his word. But whereas the master abides, he says, he sees your difficulty. However foolish that Angulimala was, he commands him, don't move. And Buddha did not do. The outward guru also obeys, much more so the inner guru. However much you insult, the self is not to be seen. The self, you say the self is true, but it is not true. For us, only the body and world, mind are true. However much you may shout at your peak of your voice, truth is unmoved. You remember? Arunachala, the meaning of Arunachala is Aruna, existence unmoved. Mind always moves. So what we have to do? We don't know. The movementless Arunachala we do not know. The movementless self we do not know. We only verbalize it. God is truth. There is only one God. Truth is self. Or I am is the truth. All words, words, words. So Maharshi says, very compassionately, that's the compassion. You fool, get out. We would have said that. However many times I tell you, get out. Maharshi was not like that. Because Buddha did not make any move, either forward or backward. You should notice that. He did not obey by going away. He stayed where he was. With your ignorance, with your darkness, stay and inquire. Stay, turn your attention within at any moment. Right now also, close your eyes, just see. Try to look, not eyeballs turning all that, not, that's all gimmicks. Just, there is the silence. You cannot deny the silence. That's the I am, unmoved. Immediately this thought comes, so what? Yes, there is a silence, so what? What immediately the movement comes. We go back to the brain and then question, yes, so what? Don't go to the brain. The brain will always be saying, don't move, don't move, don't move, but it is moving. And every time you put this question, who am I? You are moving towards the truth. You may be in ignorance, dark ignorance like Angulimala. Put that question. Raise that doubt. You are moving towards the truth. Truth is unmoved. You cannot, whatever you prayer you do, wherever church or temple you go, and then perform any amount of rituals, The truth will not come towards you. You have to go to the truth. And it is not an outward movement like Angulimala. This is an inward movement. You have to question. To whom is this ignorance? To whom is this darkness? You are moving towards it. When Angulimala comes so close, he was ready to cut off Buddha's finger. He got the enlightenment. He got that. So question, perform, who am I? You are closer to truth. It's very difficult to believe this world is untrue. That's our problem. I'll tell you one incident in the life of Bhagavan. Sabristar Narayanayar, a very intellectual person. He could not be in the presence of Bhagavan because he was working in a different city. So the previous evening he could not come. Bhagavan was discussing and clarifying not only the world is untrue, the body and the mind is untrue in relation to your existence. So the importance is, he was telling, explaining, shift your attention from untruth to truth, to non-truth to truth. And non-truth is also yours, truth is also yours. Only you can make this effort of diverting the attention from non-truth to truth, like that Bhagavan was explaining. He could not be there. The morning he came, he asked one of the fellow devotees. They explained wonderfully that Bhagavan yesterday almost proved to even ignorant man like me that the world is false, world is non-existent, body is non-existent, mind is non-existent. But still the Sabristar could not understand it. So when Bhagavan was alone in the hall, between 12 and 2 he used to be alone, so he sat in front of him. He had such devotion to Bhagavan, he knew from the heart of his hearts, here is God seated, it is not just another human being. How could he dispense this? Bhagavan had concluded in his previous day's thing, whatever that is seen is untrue. So he begins his discussion with Bhagavan. Bhagavan, you are God for me, but I am looking at you. Are you false? Are you untrue? And under this old hall roof, you have been seated for 20 years, blessing so many people. Is this untrue? The seat, the sofa on which you are seated, Bhagavan, is it untrue? Bhagavan, am I untrue? Bhagavan turned to him, smiled. What doubt is there? Everything is untrue. Your existence alone is truth. Shift your attention from all these untruth to your existence. You alone is the truth. Not you as Ganesan. That's what Robert afterwards says. I am John Wilkins. John Wilkins is the untruth. So what Bhagavan was meaning is, the I am within you, the silence within you, not the silence of Stan for me is not truth. My silence, not my is not ownership. I am experiencing the silence. This is the only truth. Everything else is untruth. The emphasis is, my brothers and sisters, not denying the non-existent thing. The emphasis is on the existing principle of you are experiencing the truth. The moment your attention from the non-truth without denying them. For me right now, Vivian Ma, there is no Arunachala, there is no Tiruvannamalai, there is no my house, which is an experience, not a statement. By statement it is nonsense, it is there. Right now, the only thing which I can assuredly feel is my existence. This is what Bhagavan says. focus the attention on the truth of the existence to the exclusion of everything that you see and hear. The emphasis is not you have to deny them. This is the difference between true spirituality and philosophy. With my very close friends, to their pain, I used to say Advaita is a failure. Great philosophy, because it denies the world. How can you deny this? What do you achieve by denying this? But when you turn within, in meditation, was there any building? In that moment of few minutes, that's what Buddha wanted you to do. Jesus Christ wanted you to do. The kingdom of God is within you. Have you done it? Ramana Maharshi says, die within. The inner silence alone is the truth. When you emphasize, when you see the truth, its side offshoot is nothing else at that moment exists. And look at this, why do we find it so very difficult? There was a devotee with his two daughters, G.V. Subbaramaya. His daughters, very good singers and dancers, maybe 9 years and 5 years. They used to sing and dance before Bhagavan. So Bhagavan used to make them sing and dance also. That day in the hall, they were reading the text written by Bhagavan in their mother tongue, a verse written by Bhagavan. It is a 4-line verse. It's a very intense philosophy of Bhagavan. But there, at different places of the 4 verses, 4 words, important words are Bhagavan has used. This child, 5-year-old child, her name is Indra, who was not following whatever they were reading, she just picked up 4 words from that. Deham, Sanskrit words, Naham, Koham, Soham. Then she was going on repeating it aloud. Bhagavan was hearing it. He said, good. That is the whole truth. The meaning, I will tell the meaning after. That's the whole truth. That's the essence of, quintessence of all wisdom. Go on repeating it like a mantra. Deham means body. Naham means does not exist. Koham means who am I? Question who am I? Soham means I am, I am. So Bhagavan in translation also read, body I am not, then who am I? I am, I am. This child, it doesn't know philosophy or anything. It went on from that moment onwards, repeating that. Deham, Naham, Koham, Soham, Deham, Naham, Soham, Koham, Soham. Not only during her few days of stay, but she is going to, and she had to leave along with her sister. With tears she told Bhagavan, Bhagavan, we have to go home. What to do? Then Bhagavan was going up the hill. I love this incident. Bhagavan said, you go to your place. This Indra and this small child went and told, not that bigger girl. This child, Bhagavan, we have to go home. And she was crying. Bhagavan was trying to go up the hill. He said, you go to your place. I go to my place. He showed the hill. It looked a casual reply. When these sisters went home, a letter came from their father. Indra is going on repeating even in her sleep this. In school also the teacher says she is going on saying something which they could not understand. And within 2 years she died, that child. Repeating this, she died. So her father, in the tomb, inscription is Deham, Naham, Koham, Soham. The master's word, a 5-year-old child absorbed. There is no practice, there is no class, there is no meaning, there is no understanding. Just took the master's word out of love. How Bhagavan implanted the same faith and compassion into that child's heart. That's what he meant. You are going to your place. Bhagavan asked them to write, Indra has been absorbed by Arunachala. Absorbed by Arunachala, Bhagavan even gave the clarity. Outwardly, Arunachala is I am. Inwardly, the feeling of I am is the truth. The same I am is Arunachala. That's why he said in one of the verses which we quoted, he says, in the inner recesses of the lotus-shaped hearts of all, beginning with Lord Vishnu to the smallest insect, there shines as pure intelligence the true being who is the same and who is called as Arunachala Ramana. The Ramana or Arunachala, which is unmoved here, that's what Ramana Bhagavan wants us to turn to. What are we waiting for? Why are we not doing? I am not questioning you, I am questioning myself. When Arthur Osborne, after staying 3 years with his master, day and night, and greatest, he was, as I told you, 10 gold medalists. He was very serious, whatever he took up. He was my respected friend. He was the editor, I was the managing editor for that journal. I had very close moments with him, a realized being. But after 3 years, he went to Bhagavan. Bhagavan, I am staying at your feet. Because the scriptures say, you have to be at the sacred feet of the Guru, Sadguru. I am staying here for 3 years. There was so many family problems. He ignored the family. The children were, even today they are angry. He ignored for his selfish reasons. He stayed on, he did not give us education. He stayed on there and he was meticulously following self-inquiry. After 3 years he goes to Bhagavan. All this between 12 and 2, Bhagavan will be alone. And he will talk to Bhagavan in English, no interpreter is necessary. Bhagavan used to answer him in English. So he said, Bhagavan, I am staying here at your holy feet, practicing who am I. But he wanted to say that I have not attained progress or I am not seeing any progress. Bhagavan, very strange. Stop, Osborne. You have been told. What are you waiting for? That moment, Stan, gave him the explosion. He said, Osborne said, my mind got exploded there. You have been told, stop, because he wanted to go further and say his difficulties. I am not progressing, there is difficulty, something like that. Stop, Bhagavan said. Bhagavan has never used the word stop to anyone. Stop, Osborne, you have been told. What are you waiting for? Why are we all waiting for? Is it because we are expecting something from somewhere? Maybe from this Guru Ramana Maharshi. That's what he told Sabristar Narayan here. He said, Bhagavan, you are God. You are seated. When flesh and blood Bhagavan was there, are you untrue? He said, what doubt do you have? Everything except your existence, everything is untrue. Like Buddha, who did not move an inch, the whole world moves. Our mind moves, our doubts, ignorance, everything is a movement. Stay within the self. Stay, the self is, whichever word you use, I am, God, The inner silence, that's why Maharshi made it very simple. The inner silence is the inner guru, and that's the truth. And that is available all 24 hours. As Stan was kind enough to say, I will be going away on July 28th. Then Aham won't be there for me. As once Maharshi said, can you jump out of yourself? Where will you go? He can go away, I can go away there, but I can't go away from myself. I am not meaning this body. This God who is within me, the Arunachala which is within the heart, will not leave me till it blesses me with that sprouting of faith and compassion. When you turn within, like the breathing and mind which sprout from the heart, which is not your creation, can't create breathing. Can you stop breathing? That's why we find it very difficult to stop the mind, to do sadhana, because it is not yours. If this is a hand, I can stop movement. I can't stop my mind. I can't stop my breathing, because it sprouts from the truth, the heart. These are the physical aspects which are coming out from the heart. Bhagavan clarified. The subtlest thing which sprouts from the heart is the faith and compassion. Our complete faith in the teaching. You can practice the teaching. Now, it is not enough because we are not having faith. We believe the Aham's teaching. We do not allow it to soak to us. Bhagavan used two English words. Deserve it and own it. All institutions, all textbooks, all teachings, verbal teachings can make you deserve it. You can know it very well. Unless it becomes your own, it is of no use. It is just like putting on the shirt. It may look very attractive. I have a very colorful shirt today, like following my brother Stan. He always wears bright colors. But that's not me. To dive within, the me is the inner silence. Maharshi, out of compassion for the child, he says, like a mantra, repeat. And that child obeyed. Osborne understood that you are told, Osborne, you have been told, what are you waiting for? I request you, my brothers, and what are we waiting for? Something to descend on this? Something from outside? Whatever that comes from outside is not true. Even if Jesus Christ comes and stands here, it's not true. You are the only truth. I am not denigrating Jesus Christ. It happened in the presence of Ramana Maharshi for Sub-Registrar Narayanari, who told me, who shared this with me. I had the audacity to ask Bhagavan, are you untrue? What doubt you have? That's the real master. Everything is untrue except your inner being, which is all 24 hours with us. Waking, it is there. Dream, it is there. Sleep, wherever you go, it is there. Go to bathroom, go to kitchen, everywhere it is there. But we unfortunately identify with the body. This body goes to the kitchen, this body eats food, this body to the bathroom, like that. Go behind. That's what Bhagavan says, dive within. That see the inner being, the truth. Can a corpse, Bhagavan says, can a corpse go to the kitchen? Can a corpse go to the bathroom? But you are able to go. So the body is not going. The body is not eating. There is something which is making it. Find out what it is. Why are we waiting? What are we waiting for? This is the message of Ramana Maharshi. That's what the very first day he said, thy will be done. Not I, but thou. Come to that point. Surrender yourself, surrender ourselves to the higher power. That higher power is the silence which is within. It is not a teaching. Indra, 5-year-old child, could not have understood the nuances of self-inquiry. But it held on to, out of compassion, Bhagavan was saying, repeat it like mantra. She did it. Here, Bhagavan asks us, our master asks us, turn your attention within. What are we waiting for? The faith and compassion are descending on you. Don't reject it. Assimilate it. That's what Bhagavan said. The truth, the master, the inner guru is waiting within your heart with open arms. Allow yourself to be embraced, that's all. Just a little bit of attention turned within. The faith and compassion will gush forth. And what is its external symptom with which you can understand? Always the person will be happy and humble and natural and simple. Bhagavan says the definition of truth is simple, humble and natural. We are holding on to belief and charitable disposition. We think we are great. Nothing wrong, that is to begin with. But allow the grace to descend on you, like Indra allowed, like Osborne allowed. For this faith and compassion to sprout. It is there, already waiting there. It needs your attention, your turning attention. Simple silence. No techniques. Indra did not have any technique. Just blindly sit, close your eyes wherever it is. I have testified to in the thickest streets of Japan, Tokyo, in the thickest, it was in the morning, so my say always the brain works. So what about night? I went to 5th Street in New York, where the busiest traffic in the night. I stood in the middle. And you can turn there, you can be the silence. So don't make excuses. The Guru, like Buddha, when the ignorant man Angulimala says, don't move, he doesn't move. Listen to the Master's words. He is there all the time. Arunachala wanted the I am to be spread. Look at here. You are all waking up to the I am. Bhagavan did not move an inch from Arunachala. The same way, turn your attention to that movement-less silence which is Arunachala. Bhagavan said, have your right hand holding on to that inner consciousness, with the left hand you play in the world. It doesn't matter. But without holding on to that, don't play this. This is all Maya. This is all illusion. So, with attention within, which is very easy, Indra has got it. Bhagavan said, Indra has been absorbed in Arunachala. It's easiest. And I am not trying to brainwash you. I am not trying to convince you. Turn within. This faith and compassion, like a natural spring, will occupy the whole being of yours. I have moved with old devotees who are full of compassion and faith. This is my prayer to you. I am so thankful to AHAM, particularly for Stan, for making me share all this. This is not shared by some person, V. Ganesan. That's why I always say this is not a talk. In a talk, there is a talker, there is a listener, and talker is more clever than the listener. Attitude is there. Bhagavan clarified it 50-50, otherwise it won't reach. When Stan came and said these 4 talks, people were very much impressed. I said, because of that, the credit goes to them. They have listened to the message. It is not the cleverness of the speaker, as I never feel ashamed. My secretary says, you are not a good speaker. You don't talk well at all. But there is a presence. That presence is not wholly mine, yours. So the same presence turned within. At every moment it is available. Arunachala is within. Get absorbed in Arunachala while you are alive. You are sure to be absorbed in Arunachala when you die. Why don't you have the enjoyment of being absorbed in Arunachala with full consciousness? Thank you.
Let's just take a moment in the silence to fully receive Ganeshan's message, experience what has been shared. Thank you, Ganeshan, and thank everyone here in the room and on the call for being on the Interlude. Namaste.
Namaste.